Settle down, pay attention. It's time for your final vocabulary lesson. Hello, and welcome to Sober Living Snippets, where we live alcohol-free and juicy, so we can heal our relationships, feel youthful again, and ditch regret and shame. Day 5 of our vocabulary lessons. Gals, we have done a massive amount of work this week to clean up our language, which cleans up our thoughts, which will clean up our lives and make sober living easier. Holy cow, what a week. Please go back, have a look if you haven't been around this week, because I actually believe that the vocabulary lessons, who knew, have been really powerful. I think we've done some really deep work this week. And of course, it's all leading up to tomorrow, which is Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. So sorry if you're hearing this in the future. If you're hearing it today, tomorrow's the big day. We are doing a live masterclass. You and I, live on Zoom for 90 minutes. There'll be room for questions at the end. I'm going to walk you through 3 of many exercises I know that can help you to shift your thinking patterns so that you can change your drinking. Change your thinking, change your drinking. But in the meantime, let's continue with our vocabulary lessons. You see, if you've done the vocabulary this week, you're going to arrive tomorrow even more prepared to shift your thinking, because this is the foundation of it. Our thoughts are made up of words, right? Okay. Today's word is actually, you pick the word, but I'm going to tell you how to find the word. Here's a story of what happened to me yesterday that made me think of this. The night before last, for some reason, I woke up at 1:30 in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. When that happens to me, which is now and then, I don't really worry too much about it. I don't lay in bed and brood. That's what I used to do. Instead, I get up, I grab my journal, maybe I'll do meditation. I just spend some quiet time with myself. And the reason I can do that is I've learned how. You see, I didn't used to be able to do that. I used to wake up at 1 in the morning and drink until I put myself back to sleep. I did that a lot until it got to the point where I would try to wake up at 1 in the morning so I could drink in private when no one was looking. Then there's a weird habit. Anybody nodding their heads on that one? Yeah. So anyway, I woke up, couldn't sleep, and I had an early meeting, an early morning appointment with one of my dear girlfriends. We were meeting at 7 a.m. to go for a walk before she goes to work. She's a nurse. And so there I am. I'm awake at 1:30, and by 3:30, I was still awake. I was actually enjoying myself. I was doing some journaling, and I was thinking about you and how I can be more of service to you, how I can help more women. Anyway, I was enjoying myself, and then I started getting tired, and I realized, oh, well, I'm going to fall asleep now at 3:30, and getting back up to meet her at 7, I'm going to be tired. So I sent her a text instead and told her what happened and postponed our meeting, right? Long story short, I postponed the meeting. Well, here's the thing. She came back when she got up the next morning, and she responded and said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear you are having insomnia." Now that's the label I want to talk about. This is where the vocabulary comes in. To me, I just couldn't sleep for a couple of hours. To her, I had insomnia. Gals, don't label yourself. Now, she didn't mean anything by it. She's a nurse. Being unable to sleep means, that's the word they use, right? The medical term is insomnia. But if I say to myself, I have insomnia, what does that imply? It implies, the first thing I think of is that I'm having a hard time sleeping all the time. So then I've got that going on in the back of my mind. Secondly, I've got a medical condition. It's called insomnia, and it means I struggle to sleep. So now when I go to bed, I'm going to be thinking, oh boy, I hope my insomnia doesn't hit me tonight. It's a whole mess of subconscious thoughts that come along with a label like insomnia. Don't allow people to label you. And this is honestly, no offense to my friend, this is so normal. This is how a society does it. Do not allow yourself, and actually it's not even other people, we do it to ourselves. I hear women say this, I struggle with insomnia, or I have another one that bothers me. I could probably go a long list here, is words like, oh, I have a condition called IBS. Maybe you just had gas last week and you were constipated. I mean, honestly, is it IBS or are you having some bouts of constipation? I don't know. I'm just saying, hey, right? Let's go off in a direction here. But I'm just saying, as soon as it's labeled as a medical condition, which as far as I know, by the way, IBS is just medical terminology for I don't know what's wrong with your gut. They don't know what the hell else to call it. What kind of a thing is that? Irritable bowel syndrome. All it means is we don't know why you can't go or why you can't stop going. It's hilarious. Okay, but as soon as, sorry for the sidetrack there, but you get my point, right? As soon as we take on some sort of label, especially a medical one, then we've got this label, and then we got to live into that label. We've got to live into the expectations of this label, this diagnosis. And I've talked about this before. So today's vocabulary is look closely at the labels you've either given yourself or accepted from others and start chucking them out. Do you have IBS or you get occasional constipation? Do you have insomnia or do you not sleep now and then? Listen, if you've got a valid diagnosis from your doctor and you're being medicated and you're having surgery, and like I hope you know how to draw the line between the difference of that and labels that are going to damage you. I know you're grown up and intelligent enough to see the difference, so I'm not even going to bother trying to defend myself on this. You can tell the difference between a label and an illness. And, one of the other things we do is sometimes, and I'm like, seriously, gals, think about this. Some people like having little diagnoses to fall back on. Some people enjoy labels. I have this and I have that. Some people would not want to have no label because then what would they be? Just themselves. And there'd be no excuse to not show up in the world because they have no label to fall back on. I know that sounds mean, but it's true. I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it. If that's you, ask yourself about it. Do I really have these? That's why I never say alcohol use disorder, or very seldom. And it's why I don't use other labels that they put on us. I actually used to. Used to call myself an alcoholic all the time. That was the label that I put on my forehead when I was about 19, and I carried it around for over 30 years. Oh yeah, I'm an alcoholic, I can't stop drinking. I would say that all the time, and all it did was make sure I couldn't stop drinking. So the vocabulary for today is in your own court. The ball's in your court. What words, what labels do you need to remove off your forehead? Get the sticker off the forehead there. You might find a few of them piled up. Unglue those labels, peel them off, and the truth underneath that will be revealed underneath your labels is that you are an incredibly powerful being made of light and energy coming from a source that is all powerful, and you're made of the same stuff that source is made of, and there is nothing you can't do. Nothing. There is no label that can stop you. There is nothing that can stop you if you've made up your mind to be all that you can be. I believe that. The bottom of my heart is way too feeble. I feel that so far into my gut, my soul, my very being. Nothing can stop you, my dear, if you peel off those labels and just decide that you're going to live this last phase of your life like nobody ever expected. You can blow their minds. More importantly, you can blow your own mind. You can step up, you can turn, you can do a 180 and walk out the other side unrecognizable. Whether it's just alcohol or also you want to get in better shape physically, whatever it is, the list, whatever it is in your life that you're like carrying this around, carrying this around, carrying this around. This is who I am. This is what it's all about for me. It's all because you've accepted some sort of label, some sort of definition, some sort of diagnosis. Who are you really? Unstoppable. You're infinite. Anything is possible. My heart's racing right now. I want you to believe me. I want you to feel this in your heart. I hope my heart's hitting yours right now. I really am talking into this microphone and thinking, am I touching their hearts? Do they believe me? Will she believe me? Will she step up? Is this the moment that she's going to step up? If not, well, guess what? I'll come back on Monday and I'll keep going until the day you decide to believe me. Or maybe you'll just show up tomorrow and that'll be the day. But I'm going to just keep right on coming back until every last one of you believe me and step up and take your life back. Come on over tomorrow. Hop into the show notes, grab that link, sign up, and join me tomorrow for the masterclass. And here's the really important piece. If you're busy tomorrow, sign up anyway because you will get the recording. So even if you can't make it tomorrow, February 22nd, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, sign up and either show up or sign up and I'll send you the recording. Actually, you'll get the recording even if you show up. Everyone's getting the recording. Gals, I hope you're feeling the motivation that I'm trying to give to you. I want nothing but the best for you, and I know that nothing can stop you except you. See you on Monday. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back tomorrow so we can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.